everybody, it's Julie Ebersol here for Hero Art, and today I'm going to be making a very fun holiday design featuring the Snow Much Fun stamp set, the matching die for the little snow guy, and this embossing folder, which is becoming a favorite, and some colored pencils. And this is the end result. I think it is just a really darling holiday card. I love snowmen, so this one was really fun to do. And I'm going to start by inking up the snow guy with the Memories black ink, and this ink dries very quickly and it's perfect for using dry coloring mediums or water-based mediums like markers, but today I'm going to be using colored pencils. So I'm going to stamp him first onto some snow layering paper. And once I get a good impression, I'm going to take him over to the die cutting machine and cut him out, and that way I won't have to sit there and trim him out by hand, because there he is all perfectly cut. And then it's time to start coloring him in. And I'm going to actually color in the same direction, keep the pencil marks going in the same direction, and I'm going to lay down my darker color towards the left-hand side on the image, and then keep a lighter hand and lighter hues of the colored pencil on the right-hand side. And this is going to let me get some depth and shading on the left and keep highlights on the right. I don't even color him all the way in, I leave some white spaces. I'm going to do this with all the colored pencils that I'm using and keep that shading on the left and the lighter touch on the right. And as I go along, I'm going to do his scarf with two different shades of blue. I actually went over the darker shade of blue with a light blue in order to keep that gradation of color and kind of blend it out there a little bit. So then we can take the light blue colored pencil, and this is a trick for white objects. If you trace them or outline them or shade them on the outer edges with a light blue, it actually makes them appear whiter than they really are. I'm not sure why that works, but it does. So I just went quickly around his edges with that light blue pencil, and then I blended out some of the other colors with a lighter, like the hat. I did the black and blended that out with a gray colored pencil. And then, because his hat has some solid holly leaves, I wanted him to have green leaves. So I inked him up and stamped him again on a scrap, but this time with the mid-tone shadow ink in the soft olive. And then I'm just going to trim these out, and I'm tossing them into a dish over here because I have a tendency to lose the bits and pieces that I actually need among all the garbage when I'm clearing it off. And so I use a little dish to just toss the good pieces into the dish, and then when I sweep away the garbage, I'm not sweeping away the pieces I actually needed. So I'll glue those into place with a little mono multi, and then I'll just highlight and shade a little bit with some more colored pencils, and that's very quick and easy to do. And then I'm ready to move on to the next part. So I set him aside, and then I made a top folding card from snow layering paper. And then I'm going to take this greeting and stamp it with red ink. I'm using Ruby because I really like what a bright, happy red this is. And then I can put the embossing folder over my card, and I'm using the more concentrated area of the dots. It's like snow falling, and I love that they're more intensely concentrated at the one end of the folder and then lighter at the other. And you can see here when we get close up, you can see that the embossing went right over the top of the stamping. So you just stamp first and then go ahead and emboss. So I tried it the other way. No worky. So then we're going to layer some aspen paper from the 6x6 pad. I love this collection. It's so pretty. And then we'll just 3D mount that with some 1/16 inch pop dots. So those are the thinner pop dots. And then we can round the corners. And rounding the corners was an afterthought. So I did the front and the back separately. I wish I had thought of that beforehand as I was designing the card, but it was kind of an afterthought. So, and then the ribbon, or not the ribbon, but the twine was also an afterthought. So, but it just went all the way around the front, and it's okay. It's all good. Nobody's going to sit there and worry that you didn't hide the back of your ribbon, or cord underneath the layers on the front. So I'm using my cross-lock tweezers to pinch the center of that bow so I can make a nice tight bow. And then we'll get the ends trimmed off, and we're ready then to mount the snow guy. And I'm just going to add some, these are the 1/8 inch pop dots. So they're thicker. They're twice as thick as the ones I used on the pattern paper. And this will give him a little bit higher elevation on the card, so you have multi levels of dimension there on the front. And then we'll just put some of these fun gemstone stickers. I like to use my craft knife to cut through the glue line and then just lift them up with the point of my knife there and transfer them to the project. And it looks like I bobbled or I missed a spot when I was inking up the stamp, or maybe I had a fuzz on the stamp, so I'm just going to color that in really quick with a black fine tip marker. And then I'm just going to go around the edges with a glue pen because I wanted my snowman, it's hard for me to do a snowman and not have him all sparkly. He's got to have some Prisma glitter. So we'll get him glittered up and use a soft brush to dust that off, and that's it. The card is done. Isn't that the cutest thing? And look how easy that die made the fussy cutting. No fussy cutting at all. So I hope the next time you make a card, you'll try using colored pencils. Thanks for watching.